So now I'm going to cover how to test the application. Let's say you have a developer application that is any teller. Now you want to test this application. Testing in the sense what we will do. So this is the, assume that now this is the application you have created, and you used to check whether these options are available with deposit, with travel, split deposit, and while testing it, and you need to make sure that, so if I click with travel, then it should be the deposit should be disappear, the radio button. And if I select here, here also it should be disappear. If I select here, only that whatever the item I select, only that should be select. So the remaining two, it should not be select. Okay, so that is also one kind of testing. So here you can test like, if I click this particular option, okay, and so this should be enabled. Okay, if I uncheck, this should be disabled. That is how we design that application. We need to test each and every part. So you can take this transaction part and you can create a test case and you can test it, and you can create a one flow for configuration, and you can create a one flow for this scalable. So here you see, if I move something like, so what is the change is happening here. So here if I do, and what is the change is happening here, and if I click graphical label, here there is a pop-up, and so I need to check. After clicking this, I need to check whether it is available or not. So after clicking this, and after clicking somewhere, I need to check whether this icon is enabled or not. That is called testing, right? We need to check each and every part of the application whether it is working or not. Now I'm going to create a flow to test this transaction part, how it's working, and I need to confirm this thing. So guys, let's say the developers are developed this application, and the first time you tested this one, it's working fine. And again, if the developers, they they have done some changes, and again there is question like no need to test the same options again, because there might be a chance to change this as well again, right? So you need to test it from the beginning. So in that case, we can using this UiPath tool. So once you build this test case for this particular option to check, and whenever you run it, it will tell you, hey, this is working fine, this is not working fine, and go and inform to your developer. Okay, so now I'm going to check build the flow to check this. Then I will show you how to verify that in the test case. Okay, so I'm going to create a workflow now to test this any teller transaction part. So go here in the transactions, so in the debug, in the design, click on sequence, create any teller transaction, right? Transaction. Okay, now I have created the flow. So in order to test this application, we need to capture something and we need to get something, right? So capture in the sense, we need to capture, so what are the fields available, and at the same time we need to click. So if I click, and I need to cross verify these two options whether it is disabled or not, right? So let's go to activity panel, use application browser, and indicate on your application. So I'm going to indicate my application. Hey, this is my application. Then I want to click some places, right? So I'm going to use CLICK, click activity. So let's say I'm going to click this deposit. Okay, so if I click deposit, and we need to check what is the output of this selector. So here see the full text is deposit. So then cancel, do cancel, again try with withdrawal. If I click on withdrawal, what is the full text is withdrawal, right? Okay, so then if I click on split deposit, okay, here the full text is split deposit. Okay, the one so we need to know one click is enough, and because we can change here as a variable, right? So let's go here, copy this split deposit, and go to argument panel, and create a argument in option to select. option to select. So that is a in. I'm going to give within double quotes split deposit. Okay, and I'm going to indicate split deposit now, and here there is a full text. I'm going to uncheck this, and I'm going to clear this. Press Ctrl K, and you will get the option in option to select it and confirm. Now validate, it's working fine, and then click confirm. Now if I go here in the argument, if I only give deposit, okay, instead of split, if I give deposit, it should select that deposit, right? That's how we used to what? That's how we used to pass that variable dynamically, right? So this is for click. Once again, do cancel and edit target. Now it's showing the split deposit. So let me cancel and check in the argument panel. Okay, it's a deposit. So it may be because of this. Okay, let's try with the withdrawal, then we'll fix it. Or one second, the edit target, it's showing the split deposit. Okay, so we need to add a few more control here. The full text we changed, so the option is deposit, and also we need to add a few more things. So I'm going to change this AA name, split deposit, title split deposit, and I'm going to remove this control and click on. Now I'm going to use only fuzzy selector, and here I will remove this, Control K, and in option select and click confirm, and here also I'm going to remove the split deposit, and I'm going to call the variable in option to select and click confirm, and here also you need to remove and select your variable and validate. Now it's working. Okay, if I change now split, okay, SP like split deposit, so if I add a split deposit, okay, so now if you go and validate edit target, it's going into split deposit. Okay, that's now it's working fine, the dynamic is working fine. And the next thing is we need to get text, right? We need to get whether the which option is selected, right? So I'm going to use get text. Okay, and so just click on deposit, okay, and click on confirm, and so get the output to check what it is printing. Get text, or you can add a deposit. Okay, str, this is also output. Let me add out underscore deposit result. Okay, and here I'm going into variable panel, right click, convert into argument, and if you go here and just check using right line, and call the out deposit result. Okay, let's check what is printing here. So let me go here, step into, and step into, it selected the option, it's extracting the text, step into. Now you see it says unchecked. So here you see we have selected the split deposit, but deposit result get text shows unchecked. Okay, and now if I stop, this is the deposit, right? Okay, let me go to argument and see only deposit, and let's see how it works, whether it is giving unchecked or checked. So, and step into, now you see the option, no, the result is giving us checked. So if you go here and see here, it's checked. Okay, so now we are good with passing that dynamic option, click option, and to get the deposit. Okay, same like we need to get other two option as well to get whether that item is checked or not. So I'm going to use the same get text and drag and drop get text and indicate on the withdrawal. Okay, click confirm, and here create a variable. So I'm creating a variable, I will convert it. So out deposit, sorry, not deposit, this out withdrawal result. Okay, so then again drag and drop get text and indicate on the split deposit, click confirm. So here again out split deposit result. Okay, now we have done, we are now passing the input to click the option, and we are getting the status of the remaining three options. Okay, whether it is checked or whether it is not checked. So now go to variable panel. So I'm going to convert this to into argument. So in option to select, we need to provide an input, and out deposit, out withdrawal, these should be out. Okay, I tell you why it should go out. Okay, so now we have created a flow to check it. Okay, to click the option and check the result. Then I want to verify, how to verify this result is correct or not, through the test activity, verification activity. It's very simple. Go to your project panel. So here you have a created the workflow, right? Any teller transactions. Okay, so just right click and go to create test case, click on create test case, and then here is your test case. Okay, so here is the window, you need to provide your test case. So I'm going to provide test case so I'm going to write a test case for this transaction. Okay, whether this transaction block is working or not. So any teller transaction verification, verify test case 01. Okay, so I'm going to add. So here if you click this mark workflow under test, so it will create a one more duplicate workflow of this any teller transaction. So I selected this mock workflow as well. I will show you what is the difference between this, and click next. So here you can select your test data. So let's say here we are passing deposit and withdrawal, split deposit, everything manually, right? You can select the existing test data, test data as well. So if I click file, you need to upload a file to test it. So as of now I'm going to give none, and I will show you that later, and click create. The moment you click create, and you can see there are two different action performed here. One is you have a flow, different flow, that is any teller transaction verify test case 01 XAML. So this is the test case, and also you can see the one more folder it got created, mock. So under the mock you can see the same workflow, because the bot is the studio is it's taken a copy of this any teller transaction. So underscore mark, if you open this, and it's only readable format. Okay, you cannot change it here. so it's only readable. And the moment you created a test case, and if you open this, and it's automatically added your workflow into this when block. Okay, so there are three blocks. One is given, and other one is a when block, and other one is a then block. So the when block is where we invoke our workflow. Okay, the given block where we have to pass our input to this workflow, and the then block is the place where we verify our result. So let's say click import argument, and here you see in option select, right? Here is a deposit, and out we are getting 3 out, right? So let me drag and drop and assign activity here, drag and drop and assign activity, and create a variable that is select option to select. Okay, option to select, and here I'm going to give a deposit. Okay, deposit, and so here I'm going to pass that. So I'm going to remove this deposit. I'm going to pass the variable option 2. So while we creating that variable, you need to make sure that you need to make it the entire test workflow. Okay, now go to our flow, init transition, and go to argument and remove this and save it. I'm come back to here, and here you can add, and the same in the import argument you can remove this. You can add a variable, that is the option to select. Okay, now we have a out deposit result and withdrawal result, right? So I'm going to create a variable control key str, or what is the checkbox, right? Or option button or radio button. Let me add R btn R button deposit. Okay, and here also R control K R radio button and withdrawal. Okay, here also I'm going to create a variable radio button split deposit. I created. Let's go to variable panel and make it the entire scope from when to the main test case workflow. Okay, now we have provided the input, and taking this input, it will go here inside and it will do all the activity, and then it will take the output here, and we need to verify it. So how to verify it? So go to activity panel and type verify. So here we have a different verify activities. So here I'm going to use that verify expression with operator, or I can use this verify expression. Just now I'm going to compare with the expression, right? So okay, I will take this verify expression, that will be easier for me. And before that, I want to tell that when it should be failed and when it should give pass, and I mean when it should give pass and when it should give failed, right? So let's say here if I click deposit, these two options should be disabled, right? And if I click withdrawal, and then these two options should be disabled, right? So let's say I'm going to use else conditions, else if. Okay, and here I'm going to write, hey, if I selected deposit, okay, if it is a deposit, and then these conditions should be this one, these two conditions should be false, right? So go here, and this is the option to select, right? So option to select equal, okay, deposit, okay, deposit, and okay, deposit, and my radio button. What are the other two options? Withdrawal, split deposit. Okay, my radio button withdrawal equal to unchecked. right? And radio button split deposit also should be unchecked. Okay, so here I'm going to use unchecked, CKE, unchecked, and same here also. Okay, that's it. So if that is the case, and how to verify? So you can just verify using this one. Already here now we are verifying it, and somehow you can use verify. That will tell you whether it is pass or not, or else we can use if condition. So I'm going to use this verify. Okay, so in the verify expression itself I will add the condition, and I think no need to add if condition. Okay, so this is the condition. So I'm going to delete this else if, and I'm going to give here the condition. Okay, drag and drop verify expression, go here, add this condition. The condition is option to select if it is a deposit, and the radio button withdrawal should be unchecked. The same, the split deposit radio button should be unchecked. If that is the case, okay, if that is the case, and you can give the result. If it is a true, give true. If it is a false, give false. So I'm going to create a variable that verification deposit. Verification deposit, and you can use right line, that is a verification deposit, right? So verification deposit dot string, and same like for verification expression, this is for deposit. Okay, and we need to add two more for this one, withdrawal. Okay, so I'm going to here option to withdrawal, withdrawal, and so if I select if I add withdrawal here, okay, if I select withdrawal, and these two should be unchecked. Okay, deposit, these two options should be unchecked. Okay, and also one more thing we need to add here, and the option, if I select deposit, these two should be unchecked, and one more thing we need to add, and the radio button deposit should be equal to checked. That is how we used to verify, right? So click on save, and not found. What is the public key is not found. Constructor on type system.activities boolean, and system.private code library is public token is not found. 1 second, close this, and so click on any teller test case, and I'm going here, open next editor. So I'm adding one more and or button, so that is for deposit should be checked, right? Then click on save. Okay, this is done. Okay, now I am again going to activity panel, drag and drop verify expression, and here also I am going here, copying this, and this is for withdrawal. Okay, and I'm going here, and so adding this, the selected option is withdrawal. Okay, ITH or EAWA withdrawal, and my withdrawal button should be checked and my deposit button should be unchecked. I mean split deposit, and deposit should be also unchecked. Okay, this is done. And create a variable here, Control K, verification. Okay, verification, this is for withdrawal. And here also you can add withdrawal. And for one more expression for this one, so to check the split deposit, right? So copy this and go here, and so go to this editor window and add here. This is what is the next option, split deposit. If I click split deposit, so go here, split deposit. Okay, and here the withdrawal button should be unchecked, split deposit should be checked, and the radio button should be unchecked. Okay, so only 1 second. So if it is a split report, withdraw should be unchecked, split okay, this is split deposit, right? Yeah, that is correct. And click OK, and this is for split. Okay, so now we are good, and we have added the condition, 3 condition. So I'm going to add right line for these 2, and one is for here and the other one is for here. And here I'm going to write, so the verification withdrawal dot to string result, and here I'm going to use verification. Okay, I didn't create a variable, that is verification split deposit. Control K, verification split deposit. Okay, and here go here, verification split deposit dot to string. Okay, so now everything is done. So now I have given the deposit. So in this case, the first condition should be pass, the next 2 condition no, it should be fail, right? So in the, if I click the if I provide the withdrawal, then this condition should be fail, and this condition also should be fail, and this should be pass. So that's how we need to it should work, right? So let's say, so okay, so here is my application. So go and execute it from here, and click step into, and click continue. Okay, it's selected deposit. Okay, it's going into verification. Now it's printing it. Now go and check in the output panel. Hey, the first condition verification passed, the expression output to select deposit and withdrawal unchecked, radio the split deposit is unchecked, and the deposit button also unchecked, checked. Okay, the return is true, true. And so if I give, okay, this test case is pass. Okay, if I give withdrawal here, UiPath or EAWA withdrawal here, if I run it again, so now it's clicked withdrawal. I should check other 2 options as well. Then our second test case is passed. Okay, now the third one, split report. So I'm going to change here split deposit. Okay, hit deposit and click step into and click on execute. Now you see the first two verification should be failed and the third one should be passed. So suppose in this application I cannot change anything as a negative. Let's say while I'm clicking, so here the bot is here I manually click. If I click deposit, this whenever I click deposit, that time also if it is still this click deposit still in selection mode, that's a failure, right? So then after selecting deposit, while verifying this particular place, and if it is see the bot know if sees any one of the option is checked with including this check, that is a failure. Then in that case all the test case should be failure, right? So through this you can able to identify, hey, this is working, this is not working. So you have tested this particular transaction on Jan month, and again the application went to some modification, and again it came for testing. No need to check each and everything here manually, and it's very simple. Go here in the project panel, there is a test case which you created. There will be a lot of test cases you used to create for this application. Go here and change your input and run it, and based on the output you can make a decision of whether this is working or not. Okay, this is how we do application testing. So